should be going on second game, since it could come out any day. Probably not this year, maybe next year. I don't know. They're probably making it the new. So we all know that we have had countless cool villains in the first one. Say for instance, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Electro. Martin Lee, Shocker, Rhino, Kingpin. We had Black Cat. Well, she technically is kind of like a villain. Hammerhead and oh, where is he? I know his name. It's just me trying to find him in this book. It's not on that. He must be here. Not that. Not that. Tombstone. So that's 11 villains in the game. So yeah. So if there's 11 villains in the game, why not 11 villains in the next game? And maybe add some of the other 11 villains. Maybe Black Cat to actually be a villain in this second one. Or if not, Yuri Watanabe. So I'll just get them into a minute because I want to do it like in a base just to try get more, you know, rewards. Even though I've probably got most of them. Like just so there's one right there. As long as we don't leave the location. Probably won't in a minute. So we have countless villains, so 11 add 11 is 22. So that would make 22 villains in Marvel Spider-Man. And I've got some good ones for the third game. Some of them you probably don't know, some of them you probably will. But let's not get to the third game yet. We have got to go over the next game. Also known as Marvel Spider-Man 2. Not really. So Liam, tell me some villains you... Oh, no, I'll just do it for now, in a minute. Wait. Oh, there's one right there we can go to. Because I'm really good with these bases. I usually take out most of the first group on the stealth takedown until it, like, you know. Wait until we get in. So there is a couple of good ones for the... Some of them are, right, so these enemies are mostly main enemies that most people might know, apart from one of them. Maybe, I guess. So, right, starting off, the first villain of the game is the Green Goblin. Now, the Green Goblin is Norman Osborn, because he's not dead. After we realised Harry was in a secret chamber all this time, but I'm taking out this guy in a minute, okay? I swear. I'm taking him out. Like, I'm not even gonna... Okay, if he's in danger, he's probably in danger to that guy. So... Who cares? It's not like... Boom. So yeah, second villain is a pretty obvious one, the Sandman. Now, the Sandman, because, like, he's made of sand. And what do you think happens in the game right now? He's probably made of sand already. Guys, watch this, as I told you yesterday, backflips to kill enemies. Okay, so, yeah. Right, so this villain is pretty obviously one to be in the game for me. These are just my opinions so far. Okay, so the next villain is the third. Then the third villain is going to be Kraven the Hunter, because number one, he's the most person which another villain should be in the game, which I will get to. in a minute. Okay. Number 4 is Venom, because Harry, you know, and probably the black suit when if this game's ever coming out. But yeah, it's pretty obvious not to, it's pretty weird not to include him because he's basically a look at Eddie Brock or Harry Osborn. Leave your suggestions down below, because nobody watches my videos in this, they only watch my Fortnite videos. Sad. These videos are good as well. Pretty sure only Liam watches these videos, the Marvel Spider-Man videos. Anyway, so after the Green Goblin should be, I mean, Venom should be, now this one is pretty obvious, it was a tease in one of the levels, but Mysterio, also known as the 6th villain of the 5th villain, I think. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he should be in the game only because he was teased in it, and I think it would be a good boss fight. Because he's been in Disney Infinity and Shattered Dimensions, or I don't know what the other game was called, but it's called something. Okay, but pause. Okay, so the 6th villain, which would tie into the series, which is Chameleon. Now, Chameleon is the guy who has loads and millions of masks and can pretend to be people now. If he pretends to be Spider-Man and do crime, then that's pretty obvious. Sure it is, Liam. To conclude him in the series, just like Spider-Man Homecoming 2, where people actually think Spider-Man was blamed for Mysterio's death. And we'll move. So number 7 is Carnage for like the last boss fight. So, or maybe like, yeah. So number 6 is Carnage because he's just a good villain to add in all general, but yeah. Number 7 is Hobgoblin. Again, it would be good. Number 8 is Lizard, and that's what I meant by the villain to hunt down. Number 8, was it? Number 7 or number 8? So 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So number 9, also known as Lizard. It's a hunt. Craven won't hunt him down. The next villain is, let's just say Hydro Man, because he was featured the 10th villain, because he was in Far From Home and it seems like he had a hard time fighting him. And the 11th villain is, I don't want to do him if Thingy's already there. And the 11th villain is, no. It's 11th villain. Fine then, Molten Man. Why not? No, because see if I do Molten Man, that's just going to affect... That's just going to affect Hydro Man. So how about Grey Goblin?
Report came in from Douglas.
Grey Goblin.
What about Hobgoblin as well?
I've already featured him. So I'll tell you the villains again, Liam. So 1 Green Goblin, Harry Osborn. No, Norman. 2 Sandman. 3 Craven, 4 Venom, 5 Mysterio, 6 Chameleon, 7 Carnage, 8 Hobgoblin, 9 Lizard, 10 Hydro Man, and 11 Grey Goblin. No. Aye. But I think they should add all the previous characters from other games and add them in, but they're different. So listen into this, because this could get weird. So let's just say the villains can either be in new suits or can be completely different. Like, say for Electro, he's not... I don't, Liam, would you say Electro's fully electric, including his body? I mean, like his head and all that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
if
bet
he
his head.
died in the last game or got knocked out,
I mean, it actually matters if he dies. I mean, it matters how many years it's actually been. Since most of the... Right, I want to check what age Electro really is. Because you can do that.
he's like 30 or 20, I don't know.
Okay, so Shocker's up in prison and he's 42. I wouldn't say he would dead, although he might retire. Tombstone is 39, so he definitely, hopefully won't die. Scorpion's 35, probably not. 41, nah. He's 39, so he wouldn't die. Oh, see the Vulture, he's probably dead by now.
But there's no way Electro's gonna die, he could just come back as electricity.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But, you know how like in The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
You know how he's actually full electric including his head? That's what I'm meaning. So he could come back like that if he died or something, or like...
Mysterio, kind of.
Aye, that was his friend though. So, yeah, Dr. Octopus could come back as Superior Spider-Man. Maybe this would make a good fight for maybe one of the games, I don't know. Or maybe as a... how to unlock the Superior suit. I just realised something. There needs to be more. We forgot one villain, Taskmaster. I just realised that.
He really featured in the last game, one of his challenges.
Aye, but I'm not going to feature. So there's 12 villains in Marvel Spider-Man 1, so I need to add one more villain. Let's look. What would be better, Toxin or Toxin or Scorpion? I say Toxin maybe. Do you? Okay, so let's just add Toxin in. So Toxin is basically another, if you guys didn't know, another symbiote. It's Eddie Brock. So it's like maybe if the symbiote was on Harry Osborn. Wait, that would make perfect sense actually for the game.
But he's in like a container of toxic. All done.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna be Venom, whatever everyone else is saying. We don't know.
I know. He might be just become the second Goblin, because there is two Goblins, Harry and Norman, like father, like son. So yeah. So 12 villain could be Toxin.
Ladder match. Now it's time I do the WWE ladder
Okay.
match.
So I know the third game isn't probably in development, but it would still good to talk about it. So if there was 12 villains in the first game and the second game, not including Silver Sable, she turns good, then... Oh, comeback, sorry, I'm not finished on the comeback. So, Vulture could wear his red and black suit. Have you heard of that suit? You know,
yeah.
Makes him fly faster. It's just like the dark suit, which is a hint to what the black suit could be called, the dark suit for some reason. Jesus. Jeez Louise. Look at Spider-Man. All the enemies were one hit. Come on, Spider-Man, you're just killing enemies. Ugh. Okay, here we go. Whoa! So, Marvel Spider-Man 3 could be about the death of Peter, maybe, or something. And the fourth game can be about... We'll get into that in a minute, so yeah. Okay, so the third game... Oh, come back! What the heck? I keep forgetting about that. So... Shocker could come back as, maybe like a homecoming version or a new Shocker? Who knows? Maybe not. Yeah, because in the movie, you know, one of them gets blasted away, the other one's completely fine. Till the end, anyway. We'll find out what really happened. Vulture could... Oh, no, I've already mentioned him. Then... No, he was featured. No. Kingpin could come back as he's...
Local units and
Doesn't he have an armor?
be advised. Report came
Yeah.
in from nearest
He can wear his armor, I mean, that's just a thing. Scorpion could come back as an actual animal, mutated thing. Would that be cool?
By Norman Osborn.
Actually, maybe. Maybe Norman Osborn could be the one who's leading them. Martin Lee could come back as an actual bloody demon. No, and I don't mean that just for saying because he says that in the game. But I mean he can actually...
I know.
That would be cool. Any other characters I'm missing? Thingmate could become a full ninja. What's his name?
What?
What's his name? Taskmaster. He could come out as a full ninja, knowing every move. Rhino can come out as a killing machine gun. Remember, that was at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He probably won the fight. It's only right, but... Black Cat, if she was evil, I don't know what she would look like. Maybe just the same. Maybe it's all but... Tombstone can be like a living rock. If you know what I mean by that. No. Is it Hammerhead or Tombstone? Yeah. Or can become the giantest person ever. And Hammerhead can actually smash people by just smashing into them. So more power.
Bray Wyatt. Who's never won the money in
the frying pan industry. So why did this guy called Slide even work for the frying pan industry? No, that is an actual villain. He worked for the frying pan industry because he's an idiot. And he got fired apparently for creating a deadly substance or weapon. Just like GR27, which is deadly but it's meant to help, just like high-tech stuff and all that. It's basically just copying Mr. Martin Lee. How to kill enemies, push them off the edge. This is why the enemies don't mess with me. And you're the last one. Yeah, that's right, get off the edge. Okay, so in the third game, if there's going to be 12 enemies, just like the previous, here we get into some enemies that I've never ever heard before until I got this book about all the villains when I was younger. Here we go. Liam, have you heard of Boomerang before?
Yeah.
Right, let's just add Boomerang, Beetle, Molten Man, which was 3, Jack-o'-lantern 4, Enforcers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Swarm, 10 Spider-Side, 11 Spot, and 12 Fake Mr. and Mrs. Parker. They would do pretty good for some thingies. Okay, so the Enforcers are basically, right, if you guys don't know, Boomerang is an Australian Fred Miles moved to a United States to become a professional baseball player, suspended for supposedly accepting bribes. Miles turned into the crime with help of the clandestine organisation Secret Empire. The group equipped him with an array of weaponized boomerangs, landing him his confidence, codename, later becoming a freelance assassin. Miles often clashed with Spider-Man and joined up with other rogues to form the Sinister Side. Beetle is this random... an enemy of the Human Torch. So the Human Torch is basically good. So, pause. So, see if there was a Fantastic Four sequel. Then they would probably add Beetle as that weapon, although he's counted as a Spider-Man weapon because they crossed over with Human Torch. if you're wondering, apparently. Molten Man, wait, Leon.
What?
So you all know how nothing. You've just seen if you watch Far From Home, even though you have. So Molten Man, Spider-Man Far From Home spoilers on the way. I've watched it, and me and Liam have watched it, so me and Liam can talk about it. So Molten Man is basically, he's kind of, is he fake in the comics, do you think?
No, he's real.
So he's not fake in the comics, but in Spider-Man Far From Home, spoiler, I told you to click off, you're so dumb for not doing it. He's fake. He's just, I don't know, these things that summon them. He's not actually made of anything in the movie, it's just like, spoilers for it, Mysterio movie type thing. To get famous and be the world's greatest hero, even though he wasn't.
That's it?
Okay. Jack-o'-lantern, on the other hand, is a completely random villain after Boomerang, Beetle, Molten Man, which is 3 and 4. So, is Jack-o'-lantern actually burned or something? Is that a real human?
I don't know.
I wonder. Maybe I should get a comic about Jack-o'-lantern, Forbidden Planet in Glasgow. Maybe one day, so I can see the truth. Okay. Moving on. So, how many members do the Enforcers have? 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WrestleMania evening time.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 villains. So we get into 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. Okay. Okay, so the 5th villain is. What are their names? What are their names anyway? Are they basically like? I'm using my phone for this because I'm confused. Okay, so there's one who looks like he's wearing a suit of like a toxic hazard. One looks like Chameleon, Green Goblin and Mysterio mixed in a cowboy. One of them just looks like a random goon and one of them looks like a goon as well. Number 9 is Swarm. This villain is basically made of bees, if you were wondering, or wasps. Number 10 is Spider-Side, one of the Jackal's Peter Parker clones.
Local units, an assault was just
Where's
reported.
that looking focused here?
Any officers near firehouse, please copy.
Nice making you.
Okay, completely random. Okay. So basically, he's a clone of another Peter Parker. Okay, moving on. So number 11 is.
It said scroll.
Number 11 is Spot. Now this guy can probably teleport and make countless. You can teleport, go through holes and all that, and make punches and kicks for Spider-Man. Now, fake Mr. and Mrs. Parker, are they 2 or 1 person? Because I can't tell.
No, they're 2 separate people.
Dang it. So how would that work then?
Not robbing them, please.
You know what? I don't care, I'm just going to count them as 12 villains since they're quite different though. So they're basically in disguise of their Peter's parents. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how we live with Aunt May, because he... What, did he go missing or something?
Yeah.
I never knew the backstory of it. Oh! So, oh no, that's just... No, I'm getting confused. So, pause. So, seeing the Amazing Spider-Man 2, was that Mr. and Mrs. Parker on the plane? Was that them?
What?
Was that them on the plane in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 opening?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was, or it was probably a villain that already got done. Anyway, so...
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, so if there is a fourth movie, then... Oh, I just realised something. I got confused, I think, with Slide and Boomerang, and no, I didn't. Okay, imagine if there was a fourth game. Just imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait, there must have been a secret left.
Oh, Rusev got wiped out.
Okay. So, pause. So, let's just see what ones look menacing. So, one...
All units, report of a narcotics sale in progress.
What?
Report came from the vicinity of Riverside.
Two.
It's Bray Wyatt versus Shelton and Benjamin.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 12 villains. Come on! We must be missing something. Oh. Scorpion. Okay, so this book has some of the weirdest villains I've ever saw. Some of them make no sense. Okay, so if Spider-Man 4 is based off Miles, he can get a bunch of new villains that we've never met before. Okay, starting off with this one called Slide, as I mentioned earlier. Now, he would look menacing. I mean, like, honestly, that would be just cool. Number 2 is... Number 2 is this guy called Tarantula. Now,
all units, we have a vehicle chase in progress.
So, who is this guy called Tarantula? Have you ever heard of him?
I don't even know.
So, right, number 3 is Silvermane, a Magia crime boss, like, lord. So that would fit in, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Speed Demon, number 5 Sorcerer, 6 Spider Slayer, 7 Carrion, 8 Grizzly, 9 Looter, 10 Demogoblin, 11 White Dragon, and 12 might not make sense, but Scorpion. Scorpion. Okay, so that's most of the villains. And if there was a 5th game, I'm just Right, this probably never happened in the comics, but I'm just going to make this clear. If there ever was a game where Miles had to face off these villains, then yeah, or a game or something, or Miles' second game, maybe you should have a game or something. So, have you ever heard of Tinkler, Liam?
No.
He's basically a random villain who makes probably costumes for people, you know. Now this never happened, even though there might be 2 villains, there's more than just 2 villains on their database. And for this one, there's a guy called Jackal. Now I don't know anything about Jackal at all. All I know is he's a villain. So the oh. Actually,
Money in the bank briefcase online. Ray Wyatt might be the first person to go up on that ladder.
Possible drug deal in progress. Nearest unit approach with caution. Officers needed on scene in Rosevale.
See Kane, is he a villain of Spider-Man? No.
No, he's a clone. Boom! Before Archer could even get the briefcase. That's what you call undisputed. Sheldon! Benjamin.
Well, that's all the villains, but okay. Bye guys, have a good time.